Welcome everybody to episode 2 of WAN or the Weekly Apple News. I'm your host Mark Paris, and this week we'll be talking about 1 million apps in the App Store, Hour of Code, New Square Card Reader, Angry Birds Go, iOS 7.1 Beta 2 Seed, and much more. Before we get started, I just want to talk about some quick other news that's going on around here. So, we are recording these in GarageBand, and it's not the greatest software for podcasts, so that's why we've invested in Adobe Audition. And I've been playing around with it for a little bit, and I have to say it's a really good app, and I love it a lot. So, I've been playing around with it some time, and so you can expect this podcast to come out of Adobe Audition next week. And you get some pretty nice effects. You have broadcast quality effects to make it sound really good. So you're not going to be getting normal straight from the microphone. We'll be doing some post-production, editing, all that stuff. So it's going to sound really good next time. Next thing I wanted to talk about was I will not be here next week. So I am going to get my wisdom teeth pulled out on Friday. And this never came in when I was young. It's supposed to be like 14, 16. Your wisdom years, but I am 24, and so it haven't come in, and they're just going to say they're going to move my teeth a little bit, so that's why I'm getting pulled out. So anyway, it's going to be on Friday, and we record our podcast on Saturday, publish them on Sunday, so I probably won't be feeling up to it, much less if I can even talk. So we'll have our secretary, Taylor. She'll be here taking over the podcast, so don't worry, we're still going to have it till next week. So she'll be taking over the podcast. Be nice to her, but don't say you like her, because you better not, because I'll be better, right? So, she'll be here next week, and I'll be back here in 2 weeks. So first, for the news, we have the Apple hits 1 million apps in the U.S. App Store. So, according to App Shopper, Apple's App Store has 1 million apps. And at the time the article was written, they had 1,006,517 apps. And ever since the App Store launched in 2008, they have approved 1,439,563 apps. So, while they announced that they had 1 million apps back in October at their media event, that was for the worldwide. This right now is just for the US App Store. Next, Apple is offering Hour of Code at retail stores. This was actually on the 29th it was written, and they had this on the 11th. So, it's over right now, but I'm still telling you about it anyway. So, they've announced that they're going to be participating in the Hour of Code, and this is going to be part of the Computer Science Education Week. So they're going to bring in students into their retail stores from 5 to 6 in Hour of Code, and they're going to be going to code.org, and they'll be teaching you kids basic programming from computers, and it's actually going to be off of Angry Birds. It's going to be like a little game. It's going to teach you some JavaScript where it says move up, down, left, right, that stuff. So it's going to be really simple. It's just going to be teaching people basic information about JavaScript programming. So even though if you missed it, you can head on over to code.org, click on Learn, and at the top it'll say Angry Birds, and that's the one they did at the Hour of Code. Next, Square announces a new card reader. This new card reader is 45% thinner than the original version. And the original version wasn't really that thick, but now when you actually see this picture I'm looking at right now, you can check that out in the show notes. I'll tell you where to go later. It's a lot thinner, and I think it looks really nice. It was actually designed by Jesse. I'm gonna say this wrong. Dorkser. I don't know. It was an Apple's former director of engineering for the iPhone, iPod, and iPad accessories. So they designed the reader, and he actually was head of the development of the Lightning connector, the 30-pin adapter. So that's pretty cool. So I have the original card reader. I ordered it, so they shipped it to me. So we'll have that review anytime soon, unboxing whenever I get it. And it's only available on Square's website, squareup.com. You can get it for free, but you can buy it from any store at the beginning of 2014 for $10. Next, iPhone 5s shipping times improved to less than 24 hours. Last week it was 1 to 3 days, and then it has improved to 24 hours. And this is on to be on all colors, sizes, and carriers. But if you pick up the SIM-free T-Mobile version, that will be shipping in 1 to 3 days. Next, Rovio launches Angry Birds Go. This is a brand new game, free for iOS only, where you can create these carts, race other birds and pigs, get to the finish line first, and it's just a fun game. It's a kart racing game, and it seems pretty interesting. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I might. It's free for iOS. Next, Apple seeds iOS 7.1 Beta 2 to developers. About a month ago, they seeded Beta 1 to developers, and it includes some pretty cool things like an optional black keyboard that you can pick up under the accessibility. And with Beta 2, what they didn't include in Beta 1, Beta 2, you have the option under restrictions to allow or not allow the use of the phone in a car. So this is going to feature that they're going to be announcing in 2014, where you can actually connect your iPhone to your car. It will kind of like sync up. You can use Siri in your car, all that stuff. But that will be coming in 2014. There are also some more bug fixes, and you also get the ability to upload burst mode on the iPhone 5. That's some new upload options, so that'll be pretty cool. And we're not quite sure when it will come out to the public. Maybe 2014, because that's when they're going to have that in-car feature. I'm not sure, but I cannot wait to try this out. It looks pretty awesome. Next, iPad mini shipping times improved to 1 to 3 days. So now that the demand for the iPad mini is growing with the holiday season, Apple has finally begun getting some stock. So all colors, sizes, and carriers for the LTE model are shipping in 1 to 3 days in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Asia Pacific online stores. Previously, it was shipping in 3 to 5 days, and at launch, it was shipping in 5 to 10. Finally, this week, we have got some cool pictures on what OS 10 might look like if it merges with iOS 7. So there have been many pictures going around where if you merge iOS 7 with OS 10, or iOS for that matter, and we've actually covered an article earlier on this, but it was kind of out of date. It wasn't up to like what's going on now. So we have some new pictures, and I have to say it looks fine. I love the iOS 7 design, and it looks good, but iOS 7 design, more simple look on Mac, just doesn't really do it for me, so I hope they don't really go that way, but be sure to check out those pictures with the show notes, and I'll tell you where to get those in a minute. As always, thanks so much for listening. If you would like to read more about anything we talked about today, be sure to head on over to ieppodcast.wordpress.com. You can head on and click that button where it says WAN for the show notes, and it will include all of the links to the articles we talked about today. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section, or if you're listening to it on Mixcloud or YouTube, subscribe on iTunes. I will be back here in 2 weeks. Taylor will be here next week. I hope all of you have a great Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening.